sound basically?
There's no hard sound.
Okay. So do you know how to pronounce this word? SEW.
SEW. I don't know. I would pronounce it Sue.
Are you sure? Hello, sir.
All right. Good evening, ma'am. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm safe and sound and trying to add some value in my overall personality by the grace of Almighty God and talking with good people like you. Thanks for your concern.
I'm sure you're adding so much difference and you're making so much difference in other people's lives with the help of your knowledge and wisdom that you're imparting. So before I talk more about you and your work, why don't you tell more about yourself to our viewers, please?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. I would be more than happy to introduce myself. Well, my name is Shiv. I born and brought up in India. My native place is Uttarakhand, and by profession, I'm a central government employee. In addition to this, I'm done with my Master in English, Master in Commerce, and this year I'm pursuing a Master in Economics. This is my final year. Moreover, I do teach English to beginners and intermediate speakers through different online applications as an unofficial English trainer. And I do have my own YouTube channel by the name of English with Teachership. So that's all about me in brief.
Okay, that's great. All I can say, you're doing so many things at the same time. You are working in a government sector, then you are, and if I'm not wrong, you're also pursuing masters in economics. That is something you're doing, right? Yeah. So
Yes.
you're studying also, and you are a teacher also. So many things.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a balance between my personal, professional, academic life. So let's see how it goes.
Okay, so now I have this question, and I'm very curious to know that how do you have this accent? I am not able to understand. Is it American or British? Because it is not both. I can say. So please help me understand that.
Well, talking about my accent, I'm also in dilemma. Which accent do I have? Because I don't even know. I haven't learned accent in my entire life. But yes, the way I started learning this language, I started learning this language with the help of one application. There, I talked with many native speakers around the world, and in my initial stage, I couldn't understand them because they have a very different accent, and I was not aware of that.
Mm.
But then I started watching some videos on YouTube, those who are uploaded by native speakers, and I've watched BBC podcast as well. From there, I got to know, okay, fine, this is the way they are speaking, and if I want to understand them, I need to involve myself into more and more. And I started interacting with them more and more. Day by day, I started interacting them, and I learned so many things. Intentionally, I haven't learned any accent because I was not that much interested about the accent, but I was quite inquisitive and keen to improvise my spoken English.
Yeah.
And I thought at the time that if I'll talk to a native speaker of English, I could learn better. So that's why I
Yes.
decided to learn from them.
Mhm.
By the time I came to know that I got a bit influence of their spoken English on my spoken English, the accent on my accent. So
Mm.
the way I speak, it's not pure Indian accent, not even American, or it's not British as well. It's
Mhm.
something I would say it's an amalgamation of Indian, American, British, because I hope you have heard me when I said better. I didn't say better,
Yeah.
or time I say like you can use internet. I don't say internet. Sometimes I say I don't know. So I'm a boy. So this is something that I got a
Mm.
bit influence of the accent on my spoken English.
Yeah.
Later on, I came to know that my pronunciation is not much good. Because I've talked with many teachers. They told me, like, Shiv, you need to work upon your pronunciation a lot. So I thought, okay, fine, let me just work upon my pronunciation. And then I started learning IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet.
Okay.
Whereas there are two IPA, I guess one is American, the one another one is British. But I was more into American. because someone told me that it was really easy to learn it. And if you want to go for it, please, you can go for it. I said, okay, fine, let me just try it. Then I started practicing with those sounds. So people usually say in India, like cat, bat, rat, but I was kind of jadoo. I just tried to speak these words in that way. Like there was a sound, and I need to pronounce some of words with having same sound like cat, bat, rat, sat.
Right.
Then comes to e like tit, pit, and long e like deep,
Yes.
tree, seep. In this way, when I was doing all these things, my mom, my father, my sibling used to laugh at me a lot. They, when I'm just like sitting in front of them and I'm having my dinner, they was like, cat, cat. And I was like, what's wrong with you guys? Let me do whatever I want to do. Why are you just making fun of me?
That's our family.
Yeah. So it happens. Then I thought, okay, fine, let it be. Then I came across to one of native speaker teachers from United States. And she said to me that, Shiv, now your pronunciation is good. And I can see that you have a bit influence of foreign accent in your spoken English. Why don't you refine it a bit? I said, ma'am, that's totally fine, but I don't want to learn any foreign accent because I'm not going to talk with any foreigner. I have to talk with Indians. I'm not even planning to go abroad and for any reason. So why should I learn this accent? And she told me, like, okay, fine. You don't need to learn any accent and all, but you can refine it. I said, okay,
Mm.
fine. How? And she said me one thing, I hope you heard about it, that is called connected English. Connected English is something, there are four parts. It would be very long, so I'm going to skip this one, but something like assimilation, intuition, these are four parts, where sometime you have to merge two different sound and you will produce a new sound. Sometime you have to eradicate the sound. You have to like detect the sound, then you will produce a new sound. Sometime you have to completely omit the sound, and then you will produce a new sound. So there are some rules when it comes to connecting this. For example, I am a boy. So we in India we say like I am a boy in this way, but in their way, like when you use connected English, so I am a become a ma. Here we merge sounds. Ama. So we say I'm a boy, I'm a girl,
Um,
right? So that's the second thing, like connected English. And the third thing I came to know that something I would say they sometime use some slangs, contraction, reductions. For example, they don't say I don't know, they say I don't know, I don't know directly,
I don't
right?
know.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes they use slangs. I'm gonna. In fact, I am saying I'm gonna. What I know about it, like gonna, wanna, it's not accepted in written English, neither in formal English. If you are speaking, so when you are talking to your boss, with someone who's a very honorable person, you're not allowed to speak in this way that I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I want all these kind of words. So that's something I came to know later on, but I'm habituated. I can't remove it. Now, next one is when you want to acquire an accent, I started listening to many native speakers. And you know
Mhm.
what I've done? I started following a shadowing technique. I hope you know about it.
Shadow technique,
There
right?
are, yes, shadowing technique.
Technique, yes.
Yes. So there are two people, I guess that was BBC podcast, I guess, and they were talking with each other. For example, you are the first, I'm the second. Now you said something. Hey, hello, how are you? So before I'll say something, like the second person, third person, me, who was listening to them, I spoke before the second person. Yeah, I'm doing great. And then I have listened to second person how he has spoke. And I make a comparison between the way he spoke and the way I spoke.
Hmm.
Then I start covering the gap between the way we have spoke, like that same
Okay.
sentence.
Yeah, imitating
So
basically. Like if you
yeah,
say
doing
some,
the imitation.
yeah, I'll answer it, and then you will answer the same kind of answer, like you will answer in the same manner, but then I'll focus on your way of speaking, your accent.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is that.
Yeah. So basically, I've done two things here. First, before the second person speak, I spoke, and then
Yeah.
I have listened to second person as well. So when I spoke, I just want to get the tone, the tonality, the rhythm, the pace, the accent he has for that. But in order to copy him exactly, I repeated the same sentence, the one who has spoken. So this
Yeah.
is what I have done. Now, next is if it is possible for you, so you can talk with them. When you talk to them face to face, you are going to learn of so many things. The way they modulate their voice, the
Mhm.
intonation they have, the way they drop some sound and they add some sound. For example, as I give into example, they don't say father. They usually say father. They don't have that R sound in their spoken English. In
How
fact,
this?
in
That's the correct pronunciation. Father. R is silent. Father.
yes, that you can see whenever an Indian will speak, they will he will speak in the same way. Where is your father? Where is your mother? I
Okay,
don't
but
know,
that.
you heard it not, but yeah,
But
they strongly pronounce that R, but in their accent they don't. They drop the R sound.
I'm
Sometimes they drop R sound in between.
I'm so
Sorry?
sorry. I'm interrupting. I'm cutting you here. I want to add something. You see these words like father, and then you said, I don't know, I don't know, right? This is something we also know. Like India has its own pronunciation and it outstands. Like we have the Australian accent, we have American, British, right? Same way we have Indian accent. If you Google it,
Okay.
and in anywhere in India, if somebody says father, father, mother, it's wrong. It is wrong. If you Google it, as per English pronunciation, also it should be father, mother. It should be like that.
Exactly. In fact, I'm a bit
Like
awestruck when I've listened to many homemaker. They say I'm doing home chore. So chore, sometimes core, sometimes shore, and I'm really I think the correct pronunciation of this word is home chore. CHAW. There's no R sound at all, right?
sure.
But still, people are pronouncing.
For chores. Chores is the correct pronunciation. Chores?
I don't know, but I guess what I know about it, chore is the correct pronunciation. Like there's no R sound at all. It's not about accent. It's all about correct pronunciation. I've checked it on Google. There are three pronunciation available when you check in Google. The
Yes.
one is US, and then second one is British, and third one is Indian standard pronunciation. If you select that option, then you'll check the syllable which are present in that particular word, then you came to know that how Google is pronouncing. You can check your pronunciation as well instantly if you want to. You can
So I
practice with some.
keep say chores. We say chores. Chores.
No,
How
that's wrong.
okay, so how do we pronounce it?
Home cho, cho. Oh,
Cho.
sound is the
Okay.
cho.
Cho. There's no R sound basically.
There's no hard sound.
Okay. So how do you know how to pronounce this word? SEW.
SEW. I don't know. I would pronounce it Sew.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure. Is my pronunciation not proficient as like your? You are the one
No,
who's professional trainer.
no, even mine is not proficient. Few days ago, I came to know that we do not pronounce it as few because this is something we have been pronouncing for a long period of time. But the correct pronunciation is so. My
So
mother,
that's what I said. So
my mother
it's
toes,
not.
right?
Yeah,
You see,
there are so
it
many
is
words.
it is in our system. Nobody really knew till now about sounds. And the sounds you talked about, how you learned it, like at, k at, cat, mat, bat, right? That's how my daughter is taught at school. That's how today teachers are teaching kids sounds from sounds. They won't say cat. They'll say k. C says k at cat, m at mat, right? B at bat, like this. So now system is changing. People are becoming aware. Since in our times there was no such thing, but people are changing. And yes, Indian accent has its own charm. Even if you ask me, I would stick to my Indian accent only. No American, no British. I don't think that until I really want to
Uh,
move out.
yeah, that's true. Like we have to have a neutral accent so that anyone can understand what us, no matter from which part of he or she belongs to. And
Yes, yes.
cycling, I've seen like we have been, mispronouncing so many words just because when it comes to English in our country, grammar come first. Past tense, present tense, future tense, and then article, then preposition. And
No, you
when
need to.
after learning all these, when you ask him, have you done your course of learning English? Yes, sir, I have done. How many days you have to like take in order to complete this one? So I have taken 6 months. Okay, great. If you don't mind, may I ask a question to you? Yes, sir, you can. Okay. Would you mind if you tell me something about power of words? So power of words. Yes, sir, words are very important. Words are being used by, and what he is doing is trying to imbibe all those grammar rules that he has been learning so far in his institute, rather focusing on the content he has to speak.
Right.
Now, he actually created a trap of grammar for himself where he divided his own mind into two different parts. The one who is checking and calculating his grammar. Am I using right grammar or not? Am I using has, have in a right place or not? Would or should? And the second part of mind is thinking about the
Hmm.
topic to speak about.
Yeah.
Now, do let me know the one who is sailor, how he can cross the river by sailing on two different boats. Okay, to some extent he can sail, but at a point he has to choose one single boat in order to cross that river. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying that grammar is bone of English. Grammar is blood for English. It's the soul of English. I couldn't agree with that. But still, what I feel that sometimes you have to ignore this fact, keep aside,
Yes.
lock it, and throw the keys somewhere else, and just try to focus on your confidence first. Are you speaking this effortlessly, comfortably with everyone? Or you are just, shrinking yourself. You are just sweating and vibrating a lot, your whole body. That, okay, if I have to speak in English and like that, what will happen? I will make mistake. And so many thoughts will come in mind just because we are not feeling comfortable. So the moment you feel comfortable that now I can speak, no matter how many mistakes we are committing, that's fine. Am I making sense or no? That's also fine. At least I got a confidence and flow that I can speak English with anyone around the world. The moment
Yes.
I reach this level, then yes, of course, you have to work on grammar. Because if I will say my Shiv is name, if I'll say in this way, no, my Shiv is name, definitely people will start beating me just because they would consider me as a mad, and I was not doing anything, just postmortem of English. There's a word develope. I hope you have heard people usually say develop. And if you say develop, we can understand what he is talking about. But is it a right pronunciation of this word?
No. Develop.
Exactly. See, you are a proficient teacher, you are a trainer, so that's why you know. But what about people like me who are learner? We are not aware of this fact,
But
isn't
they
it?
don't know your
And
reference. But
so
see,
this is how it
I,
goes.
I feel two things are important. For a beginner, what I feel it is very important to make your tongue familiar to this language. Very important. Because once you are comfortable speaking in this language, then later on, gradually improve, like change the process of learning. I mean, learn new things now, learn more new words, learn some grammar part. But in the beginning, if anybody is focusing on grammar, then I will say they will end up making so many mistakes. That would be big disaster if you do that. So you're right, you have correctly said that please do not over focus on grammar. Just first take an initiative, start speaking, and gradually with time you increase, you improve, you learn. So that's we can say, right?
Exactly, ma'am. And not for today. In fact, since I started learning this language, grammar has become a diplomatic topic for me. as
Hmm.
our subject of controversy always. I took English as a language, not subject. So I haven't studied grammar and I haven't studied English as a subject in my entire life. Or maybe it's just because of that, I'm struggling a lot in order to speak English. And whenever, because the thoughts which I have in my mind, I couldn't express, I couldn't manifest in the same way as I have in my mind. That's because of lack of grammar rules. So in this way, definitely I would say that yes, grammar is so imperative and paramount. We can't skip it.
You can't escape it. So, but we can't say that it is the most important part while speaking. Little bit is fine. Like for example, if I'm teaching any learner, like let's say if I'm having one-to-one classes, so if the learner is not able to use would correctly in his or her speech, and he's making continuously making mistakes with the usage of would, so I'll make sure I teach the correct use of would, so that student can use that word correctly and can improve his or her speech. So a little bit is fine, I can say. We can say that little bit is fine, right? Okay, so my I want to end this session by asking you just one question. Like right now, if you have to give a piece of advice to all the learners who are trying to learn and they want to improve, but they haven't improved yet. Okay, so what would you tell them?
Sure. So first and foremost thing, I would say that we all are Indians. We should proud on it. So if we are learning English and we are making any mistakes somewhere, or we are stammering and fumbling at all, we should not feel ashamed about it. Second thing, we need to find a powerful reason for ourselves in order to learn this language, because until unless we don't have a strong reason, we can't learn this language, because that strong reason itself will teach us how we can learn this language, at the same time, how we can acquire this language as we are expecting from our side. Third thing, I would say words have some magical power, because if I'll give you a topic to you and I'll ask you, you have to speak about this topic in your native language, I'm damn sure since morning till night you can speak continuously, just because you are born with this language. At the same time, if I would ask you like you have to speak about the same topic in English, then you'll find so difficulties because you don't have those vocabs that you require in order to express your feelings, emotions, facts, and everything. That words have some magical power. At least you have to learn one or two vocab every single day and incorporate the same vocabs in your day-to-day spoken English. Fourth one is we should not obsess with grammar, because grammar comes later. First, you need to work upon your confidence and flow. Once you reach on that level where you can speak English with anyone around the world without any hesitation, shyness, then of course you can go for accuracy, which means grammar. Fifth one is practice makes a man perfect. Sorry, I don't believe on it, because no one is perfect in this whole world. We all are perfect with some of imperfections. But still, focused practice can ensure your progress every single day. So just try to be regular to us a practice without speaking a single day. Now, sixth one is we should love our mistake. I know it's quite funny to hear, but still. Most of the time, I feel that people are really upset with your grammar mistake or any mistake. They feel if I'll make any mistake, people are going to laugh at me, criticize me, and that's why they don't even take a step ahead to speak this language. I would say we are not God, we are human beings, and being humans, we are allowed to make mistake. Embrace your mistake with both hands and try to rectify it one by one. Surely, one day, for sure, you're gonna speak English like a flawless speaker. Next one is English speaking environment. I hope you remember your childhood days and how did you learn your mother tongue? You have listened to your parents, siblings, people around you, and you start imitating the same. That's how you learn your mother tongue. Same goes with English. If you want to acquire this language with the bottom of your heart, you have to create an English speaking environment around at your home. When you are doing working in the kitchen, use your words, listen to some English podcast. There are so many paintings and calendars in your home. Just try to describe it in your own words. Wherever you can go for mirror practice, or you can talk to yourself. All you have to do is just try to speak in English with your parents, siblings, friends, office mates, how much it is possible for you.
Right.
Now, next one is we should understand the value of evaluation, and we need to understand that first we have to find our flaws where we are lacking. We are lacking in pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary, content, sentence formation, and that is only possible when we'll record our voice, listen it, and then identify about your shortcomings and drawbacks, and you need to work upon it. Next one is, I hope you must heard about it, LRWS, which means listening, reading, writing, and speaking. These are four modules and four pillars of English. So listening podcasts, audiobooks, native speakers, good teachers will allow you to get the real exposure of this language. Reading will allow you to improve your intonation. At the same time, you are going to come across different vocabularies that you can imbibe in your spoken English. And third, when I'm saying writing, it will allow you to speak English more accurately, because here you need to work in grammar, and you develop or you think in English power first. Because when you write something, before that you think first. Right. Last one is speaking. Speaking could be learned by speaking only. If I would give you a manual of swimming and I'll ask you, man, just read this manual and you are going to learn swimming. Is it possible? No. In order to learn swimming, you need to dive into the water and then you have to practice. That's how you can learn swimming. Same goes with speaking. In a nutshell, I would say English is just a language. We should aware of not doing procrastination because we are not ready to do our homework. I'm asking to like Surbhi ma'am, how can I improve myself? Ma'am has given a lot of advice to me, and at the time, after that call, I'm just going to my bed and I started sleeping.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. I need to work on those stuff that whatever happens, like get from someone's side. And last thing I would say, we have to keep patience. It's not an overnight process that I'm not a magician that I will reward a magician hat in your head and from next day you are going to speak English. In fact, I'm not a chemist that I would give you a tablet of English. After having the tablet with a glass of water, you are going to speak English like a native speaker. Not possible. So I would say be determined, enthusiastic, passionate, work hard, believe on yourself, find the right approach of learning, growth mindset, and positive and assertive thought process will allow you to get acquainted with this language in such a way that you can become the masterpiece of yourself. And that's how you can become the best version of yourself. And you can set example for all those learners who have been struggling a lot in order to master this language. I'm done. Over to you.
Okay, that was, I can say, so much wisdom. We all need to process it. But thank you so much, for sharing your experiences, for sharing your knowledge. I'm sure we all are going to gain a lot of knowledge from your experiences. Thank you so much for giving your time, sir. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for giving your business time to me and connecting with me